What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Famine Studios. I am, as always, your host, Famine. We're working with a new setup tonight. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm going to want your feedback for sure. But yeah, let's check off in the chat as people start to file in. How's everybody doing tonight? We are going to be talking about something slightly serious, something that's it's been on my mind for a little bit, and I'm sure it's been on some of you guys' minds. Or my fancy jar of peanut butter next to my bed. But yeah, we're gonna take care of some stuff here tonight. We're gonna talk. We're gonna turn on the backlights. There we go. We're gonna be in a calming. We'll say a lighter blue. There we go. We're in a calming blue mood tonight. That's where we're going to be. It's a super moon. There's a lunar eclipse. Peaks East Coast at 10:44. So if we're still streaming, you want to go poke your head out and take a look at the super moon eclipse. I mean, why wouldn't you? But yeah. So today's topic at hand is my shame as an artist. The thing that haunts me and is looming over me every time I come in here to work. I got a pile of shame. It's some of it's up here. You can't see. It's slightly out of frame, like this walker that I've been working on. This exists in my pile of shame. It's just something I've been pecking away at, and I could easily probably finish it up, but I just, for whatever reason, I set it aside and I go work on something else. And that's, as an artist, it's tough. And as somebody who has, somebody who has mental health issues and things that I'm working on and skills that I'm learning. And, I'm trying to implement them to get other things done. And I'm also trying to motivate my friends. You guys do motivate me when you come in the chats, when we see each other in other chat rooms, when you guys DM me and you're like, yo, check this out, fam, and I made this, or you might like this. Like, I appreciate that. That's inspiring to me, and I hope that it's the same when I send you guys something. Let's say hello to our friends in the chat. Let's do that, though. Bjorn, first one walking in the door here. We got Red in the room. What's up, Red? We got Josh. What up, homie? What up, Zilla? And we got PAR Productions. What's happening? And well, listen, I said it's a pile. I put some of it in a box for the thumbnail because if I had the pile, I would have had to put some fragile. It was a whole production to get that thumbnail made. So we're just going to pretend that it's just that box. But we're going to work out of the box today. That's what we're going to do. We're not going to work outside the box. We're going to work out of this box. And we're gonna get going. But yeah, I mean, sound off in the chat. You guys, some of you guys have already said like, oh, you've got some things of shame. Let's hear what you got. Like, tell me about it. What do you have that's sitting aside that hasn't been worked on here? What could you be doing and why? Maybe tell me why you haven't gotten it taken care of. I'm gonna go ahead and reach over here to my second screen. You'll notice table shakes, camera don't move, baby. Camera don't move. But as I said, like this box of things that I have here, I joke like, I should be locked up for this. But as a creator, there's a bunch of stuff here that I could absolutely have turned out and had done for you guys. And you guys could have, you could have seen it. You could have made, you could have made one of your own. You could have been inspired. And instead I'm like sitting on it like, oh, let me just hang on to these here. And, we won't do anything. So let's take a look at the stuff here. And we're going to switch up the camera, so just bear with me here as we do a thing. We're going to do a thing, guys. I'm excited about that. So we're going to show this. We're going to leave that. And we're going to like this. All right. So we've got some stuff that we're going to take a look at. And I'm actually going to back you guys up a little bit. Tilt that in. And look at all that space we've got. And look at that. I can move the table and you guys don't move. Ah! Feel like a brand new ham. Feel like a ham. So I've got a doorway from something I picked up at Toying Around. I think it was X-Files kit that I want to make into a doorway. And this could be a simple dry brush and repaint. And I could be using this, and I haven't. I've got this thing. This has been part of Gimmick since I essentially launched it on the channel. And basically, I just need to weather up the edge, the perimeter. I need it to blend in with the world, and I have not done that. You know, it's a digital sign. It's done up in Airbrush. It's really cool. I took some time and actually individually LED by LED programmed it into the little app because it was in Chinese and the American translation was not great, so I had to do everything manually. The font importer just didn't jam well. So there's something that needs to be done there. So I'm gonna set that aside. But these are the things that are just super easy that I can implement, and I haven't, for whatever reason or the other. And I think a lot of it is sometimes I'll be like, that's too easy to do. I need to set this aside and do something more grand, something bigger in world building. And I'm beginning to realize that's kind of silly, that mentality that I have. It may not be silly for you, but for me, why am I thinking that way? I've got this little ladder that just needs some dry brushing and to be sealed, and I could put that up and have another point of, a character getting up and on somewhere. Why am I not utilizing that, I do not speak Mandarin or boy, I used to know them, both dialects. Not know them, but I could tell the difference between them. And J Dioramas 2.0, what's happening? Glad to see you here. Thank you for joining us. This thing just needs some new weathering. Could be attached to a couple of things. It's just there's stuff like this that it's so simple. These guys just need some type of emergency coloring and some silver paint, a little dry brushing, and I could tack those on and use them. And it's man, why haven't I done that? It's these little things that I set aside. Here goes another one. This needs some touch up because I took a bunch of parts off of it. I actually slapped a couple extra things in there too. So it just needs some touch up. That'll take me most 15 minutes, at most 15 minutes. And yet I'm still I don't know. Here's something I've been sitting on for a year. I think when I first started streaming, I put this together. I just got to dry brush this. Maybe a little weathering on it, but that's done. That's built. Why am I sitting on it? Doesn't make sense. And I've got a whole box of things like this. This dude, I was just going to do a couple of washes and maybe put a fabric camera around his waist. That's what, for me, that's I can either turn it into an hour-long project or a 15-minute project. Difference between a whip pile and a pile of shame. No, for me, it's all just a pile of shame. I do have work in progress pieces like the speeder bike we've been working on. That's a work in progress. That's something. But things like this where I could just easily have finished them and I set them aside and I just move on to other things. And I know that's got a lot to do with my ADD. And, it's something I'm working on. And yeah, it's I'm oh, I should do something gigantic and here, let me do this big thing and show this big grand, project I worked on. And it's why did I, Cantonese and Mandarin. Thank you, Bjorn. Why did I do that? Another thing, piece of aquarium with it's got bricks like I have in my world. Like this is quite easy. I think this will be the first one I start on actually. Quite easily the easiest thing that I can paint here and just immediately set into gimmick and have it blend in. And for whatever reason, I haven't. Like, it makes no sense as to why. You know, and it just goes on. There's more stuff in there. This here, I got another, you know, one of the Carillion Hound crates. Just needs to be dry brushed with some silver. I don't even, you know, I could take a paint pen and put a few dots on the panel if I wanted to. But it's like, how freaking easy is that for me to do? You guys have been on the channel. You've seen. So it's just, you know, it goes on. There's all sorts of stuff in here. So I'm just going to work off that small pile there. And we'll go from there. Like my creepy stormtrooper corpse that's for display. Like I just got to finish dry brushing him a little lighter and also put some gloss in his visor, and he's done, man. He's ready to go and be strung up by, you know, ne'er-do-well forces. But I just got it sitting, so I'm just gonna set this box aside here. Set it aside. No big deal. No huge, you know, no huge fair there. But I do want to get, you know, I want to get some of this stuff out of the way. I want to get some of this stuff done. So, as I said, we'll go right ahead and start with this thing. This should be the easiest one for me to do. Also, new cutting board, cutting mat, because my other one snapped. I still have yet to figure out how in the bluest of blue hell how that happened, but we're here. It happened. We've moved on. Got some paint markers. Got my usual paint. We will grab an acrylic, and it's going to be a terracotta. I've got a little paper foil plastic paint tray, and we're going to boogie. So our first trick, we'll grab a little bit of black. You know me, I like to put down the black base first, and then dry brush everything over it. Helps keep things uniform for me. To my sweet, sweet voice. I actually don't want this guy to have a zombie look, but I do have a zombie stormtrooper in one of my carts on a creator's page, but that's for a different project for later. But yeah, no, I absolutely plan on that. But that guy actually is supposed to be deceased. He's actually a corpse, not a ghoul. He was an Imperial stormtrooper that you know, met an unfortunate fate. Water that. And as it goes, you know how I do. I slap on this black paint, let it get in all the recesses. And if anybody's wondering where I got this and you're looking for a link or something, in case you want to do like some old, I don't. This was an aquarium piece that I've had for a while. I've long since closed up that aquarium, and I was going through some stuff and I found it and I said, damn, it's got bricks that'll blend right into my world. Let me get to work on it. So I set it aside. I washed it in the sink, you know, just to get any of the dry, dead fish flakes out of there. And on we go. There's a whole thing on that, Bjorn. There's lore, but you guys will have to wait to see that. And I wet my brush, as you guys saw. I put a little water in the paint just so I can make sure that it has that capillary action that we're looking for, so it seeps into all the cracks. And it also helps me use less paint, which saves money. Y'all know I am a slut for savings. We like a good bargain to get our value out of this stuff. And I'm also using Apple Barrel for this primer. I don't need it to be model paint. Has a pretty good already textured surface on it, being it's cast out of stone. So it doesn't need to have the nicer model paint on there, which is fine by me because I'm actually running super low on matte black paint. Army Painter matte black. I mean, if anybody wants to send me some, Army Painter, if you're watching and you're like, man, we know toy guys use our paints too, we should certainly work with some of them. Reach out. I'll happily I already happily tell people about your paints because I believe in them. But if you want to throw a little paint my way and work something out, we can absolutely do that. Or if somebody wants to send me some off of Amazon, also kind, appreciate that. Helps the channel. Defiant, what's happening? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was just going to put up a banner to remind everybody to smack that like button. But we'll go ahead and we'll throw up our patrons. And I have to actually add another patron to that. Mickey joined up. Always appreciate the additional support. Mickey's like a brother to me, and it's cool that he's always there supporting the things I do. So appreciate that, brother. If you tune in to watch the replay. Get a little more water on this brush. I think there's like a moth or something up in Gimmick bouncing around stuff. Just realized I could hear that, and I'm like, what in the world is that? There's no cats up there. No cats up there, so. Although there is a snowflake in a cardboard box from Amazon over there, which is very cute. She's always super cute with that. Josh, you said you're working on some stuff. Anything good? Anything exciting? I would indeed do a small dance. That is true. Timbo, what's happening, man? Glad you can make it in. Glad you could make it in. How are you doing tonight? We're working through some of my pile of shame. We're fixing some wrongs. We're sharing tips on how we get over our leaving things undone and moving on to bigger projects. I think one of those things is I need to treat it as a joy. It is a joy, right? You guys know me. I love to paint. Most of the time I build things just for the excuse to paint them. Which is, that's humorous to me. I will build something just to paint something, or I'll get it just to paint it because I know in my mind's eye it's gonna look a certain way. It's gonna bring a certain attraction to what I want to do, and it fits in with the things I want. And like that's why I do these things. And so you guys know, I just need to remind myself that, like, hey, even if it's a small project, if it's a little project, if I get it out of the way, it's not going to sit around. It will contribute to a bigger project. Like, all these things are contributing to Gimmick, or they're going to go out the door to somebody, in a care package or something like that. Like, they're not small potatoes, even though little projects. So I just have to remind myself of that. Snowflake, you look so freaking cute over there in that box, just popping your head up every once in a while to look around the room. Oof. 2:30 comes early, and so do I. I mean, they make a pill for that now. Get some sleep, man. I hope you have a good morning. Ant, what's up? He made it. even if it's very small. You know, I agree, and I do. I'm gonna say do. I do something. There we go. I do something every day for Gimmick. I don't think I've had a non-crafting day, even if it's just coming over and arranging something or like putting two pieces together that I wanted to, use or slap some glue or just work on a little something, because it's taken me years to come to the conclusion that it's okay for me to say I'm an artist. I'm also a writer. That one took me longer to say than I'm an artist. So sometimes I have to remind myself that, artists make art for the sake of making art. This Gimmick started as a mental health, and it still is. It's not even it started as. Gimmick is a mental health project for me. It's been a creative outlet. It allows me to learn things about myself, learn things about my own levels of patience that I have, skills that I didn't think I'd have, make things. I had a really, really crap childhood. And we're not going to get into the deep sads about it, but there were a lot of toys and things that I wasn't allowed to have, or I had taken away from me and given to other people just out of spite. And so now I can revisit that and make the things that I wanted to have those things, and no one can take them from me. And I can put as much love into those as little old me would have. And look at that, Numa City is mental health. Like, that's what we like to see. I don't think, I know for some people, like, their world building is a business, and that's cool. And I got the brown Spotska famine. Oh, he's got some, you got some adult beverage? Is that what's going on? Like, I know brown Spotchka sounds like oh shit, he's got brown Spotchka. That guy's going to have a tough time. That's what that sounds like to me. Right into it. Well, that's a good thing it's getting painted black anyway. All right, so we got one thing primed there. Let's get another thing primed here. What is making God blessed noise up there? I don't know. It's freaking me out. It's freaking me out, man. Yes. Right. So I'm going to actually just put a little more. When I was over here lamenting and looking at this thing, I realized there's a couple of spots that I missed. So we're just going to slap a little more black paint in there. Yeah, you can get the brown Spotchka at Taco Bell. That is absolutely something. You get that with a Baja Blast after you've been blasted. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. Like, that's ready. That's ready. Let's get some more black paint on this. This was the other thing that, like, really needs to have some quote primer paint put down on it in areas. And I think I was talking to Anthony earlier in the week, and I was saying how I'm this year, like actually this month is my 1 year streaming anniversary. So we will be doing something Friday evening for that. I haven't put up the thumbnail yet. This is the semi-official announcement. But like, I have seen so many things within Gimmick that I want to repaint now that I'm like, damn, I'm better. I kind of fell into my groove. I figured out what I want to do, how I want my world to work. I'm not making Empire Toy Works stuff like because I was inspired back then and I thought that's the way that my world would look, and it's not. And I think I'm happier for that. But there's a lot of stuff that I want to repaint. So I may revisit some stuff in Gimmick and repaint it. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you have something that you worked on and it's sitting on a shelf and you're looking at it and you're walking by every day and you're like, damn, I could have done that differently or whatever. You're not married to it. You don't have to keep it that way. You can make changes. Well, I've been world building and making the videos for YouTube about Gimmick for 2 years, but I only got the superpower on YouTube a year ago to live stream. So, and it's quite literally this month, it is a year. I was looking at that and I said, oh, damn. Well, we got to do something. And I'm going to put, there's plenty of regulars that come into the chat, always appreciated. So we'll have to I'll be shouting out some people. I'll probably be reaching out individually to some folks, and please, if I don't reach out to you, it's not because I hate you or I didn't think that your stuff is worth, whatever. It's all dependent on what I'm reaching out and asking for as far as like pictures of things people made or whatever. So if I miss you, it's not a personal thing. It's just that old Famine is either forgetful or he's looking for something specific. So let me let these psycho dogs out here for a second. Give me a couple minutes, guys. Oh goodness, you hear them making all that racket? Silly dogs. What's going on? Pull it down. Okay. And we're back. And I also grabbed a water. Was I supposed to be doing something as Slave Leia? So that was for the WMC Patreon, World Makers Consortium. And I guess enough people didn't sign up, but also some people said that they would withhold their money if their money was to go to me in the Slave Leia bikini. So maybe next year. And trust me, that's not even me being funny. As we set the goal, the people didn't want that. And, a couple of people were actually like, yeah, I'm not going to contribute to that nonsense. Star Wars Middle-earth R2. Huh, that's cool. Does he glow like, what's that sword called? The Stinger? Does he glow like the Stinger when there's stormtroopers about? There we go. So there we are. There we have it. Another thing primed. Like, why I sat on these as just something I didn't do, I won't know. And for this, we're just gonna let's give this some black paint just a little something for the other paint to adhere to. And honestly, I thought about, and I'm trying to be careful around the switches and buttons, but like I thought about maybe scuffing up the lens on here, making it look a little more rough, but I don't know. We'll get there. I might cross that bridge another day, or if I get another one. So I got one more thing I think I can use this black for. Get out of the way, Stark. You silly little man. You silly Mr. Stark. Yeah. So, two things. Rad sent me over this 3D printed item. So we're going to go ahead and use this. And steel model kit. Is that nonsense? Barnes & Noble's open. Oh, nice. Nice. Good deal, Bjorn, finding Jawas. You guys know that Bjorn is revered in the Jawa community? It's a little known fact, but it's true. And this is just going to be some type of like industrial holding something up thing. I don't know, kind of like a girder or something. An industrial holding something up thing. How about that? Yeah, where do you learn your descriptions? Where do you get the ideas for these things? Oh, Famine just babbles, and sometimes we pick up on it. Bjorn, what's the serial number on the bottom of their feet as well? Can you get me their social security numbers? Are any of them single, and have they dated our girl from Mos Eisley? So there's that. And then Rad said he got bored, so he started painting this up, but I am going to give it a once over in primer, give it the old Famine special. Absolutely not knocking what Bjorn or what Rad did. It's just how I'm doing it, baby. You know how we do. And I'm actually going to give this a coating of Mod Podge as well once this black is cured, is dried, whichever vernacular you would prefer to use to describe what's happening with this. What is that? This is a stack of crates with a tarp on them. They're like kind of like a sci-fi military looking style of crate. And I actually have a piece of fabric that I might use and actually just completely lay it over the fabric pattern that's on here to give it that like real tactile look. I don't know. That's something I can do, I think. I think that might look neat. What do you guys think? But yeah, this was 3D printed and sent to me by Rad from Rad Toys Galaxy. Go check him out. The host to my co-host of World Makers Consortium on Fridays, 8 o'clock Eastern on Rad Toys Galaxy channel. We are the #1 world making show on at 8 p.m. on Fridays. So go check that out. Ian, how's it going? How's it going? Thank you for joining us tonight. I think Bjorn probably means he physically found it. Bjorn is pretty good at like finding random stuff. Yeah, Bjorn found some random stuff. See, Bjorn's got the secret power of working at a toy and collectible store. Bjorn got that super secret ability. Needs more dog cam. What's up, Brian? The dogs are right here. Fuck, I got paint in my hands. Come here, Stark. Get this paint off my hands. Come here, Stark. Come here, buddy. What are you doing standing there staring at me? Come here. You'll jump up on my lap any other time, but since you're splooting on the floor like a lunatic, come here. Oh. Come on. Oh. Say, hello, everybody. I am going to paint some things. Are you going to paint, Stark? Famine, your work is crap. Stark takes over the studio. It is now Stark Studios. Go play with your brother. Get him, Rosie. Get him. Oh, now you want to jump back up here because you got a little taste of the limelight, huh? Brian Snowflake is off to the right in an Amazon box, just chilling. Just completely knocked out. Just every once in a while she wakes up, looks around, pops her head out of the top, and then goes back to sleep. And yeah, guys, like I said, I will hit this with Mod Podge once the black dries so that I can go over it with some color and some dry brushing. And then we'll drape the fabric on there. Easy little project. And again, this was nicely sent to me by Rad Toys Galaxy. And I've been waiting on it to use it. And again, it's been sitting in my pile of shame. And I wanted to put it to use and have it in the world. Everything but the 5 POA Stormtroopers. Those are the ones that you were looking for too, aren't they, Bjorn? We're going to do a quick dry brush on this crate, and we'll get this out of the way. I was going to use Shining Silver, but I feel that's too shiny, so we'll use Plate Metal from Army Warhammer Paints, or excuse me, Army Painter War Paints. I like these. And again, this is just going to be a quick dry brush. I'm not going to use the brush that I was painting the black with. But I will use a little dry brushing makeup brush. Again, $1 at the dollar store. This thing's last me like 4 or 5 months. No real signs of stopping, so consider it. And for those who are new to the channel and don't know what dry brushing is, or maybe you're just not super familiar, it's when you put your, paint on a piece of, on your palette or your paper towel or whatever, like I'm doing. Take most of it off. Could you all stop fighting violently next to me? You take the majority of it off, and then you just leave a little bit on there, and you slowly build up layers of paint, and it adds a really cool effect to things. It looks awesome on stuff with a lot of detail because you hit a lot of the high points and let the recesses stay dark, which is honestly how work in real life when stuff collects oil and dirt in the recesses but gets worn and rubbed and touched and moved around on the outside. It tends to be shinier, and that's the way dry brushing works. Five POA troopers were able to get in the gym. Are the Force too. What's up, Brad? I was just telling everybody about the crates that you printed out and sent me. I'm going to be putting some soft goods over top of the tarp that's on there, but it's a perfect template for me to lay that on there. So once again, kudos to you and thank you for sending that over. And you see the difference here? Like bare, boring black plastic, and then it gets that shine, picks up light. Personally, I think that's infinitely better. I get why Hasbro doesn't do a lot of dry brushing. I assume that is a more difficult feature in the factory to make happen. But I'm completely comfortable with doing it at home. I know some people are like, I should open up my toy and I shouldn't have to do a thing to it. But if I want to add a little bit more to it, I absolutely like that I can. So it doesn't bother me to do it. And dry brushing is like the easiest way to paint and add value to your figures, add, presence to them on the shelves and in your display. It's nearly done. Good flip. That's what I wanted to hit. I want to get that back. All right, and then I'm just gonna. It is from the solo figure line. It is from the solo figure line. So I will take a green marker. And let's make sure that we got green paint flowing, ink flowing down. Green paint. Come on, paint. There we go. And we're just going to put green on there. Cool. And then we're going to use the red pen that actually kind of looks pink, but it photographs red. So put that on there. And then we'll just use, we're going to embellish this a little bit with a silver paint marker, Posca. I think this is a Posca, excuse me. Maybe we'll do a little wear on that button, across the keypad, and we'll do a couple of scratches here and there. Cool. Calling that done, and I'm going to put it right here with the other one. We'll compare the two. So I got, this one was the one on the shelf, dry brushed. I actually think that was done with the wax, the rub and buff. And then this one, dry brushed in gunmetal. A couple of crates that now look like they have some character to them. Off to live in Gimmick. See, it's stuff like that where I'm like, why? I don't know why I didn't finish that. That was so easy and simple to do and get out of my way, but I did not do it. Right now, I'm going to give this a second coat of black. Just so that when I start putting my silvers, my metals on here, they really stand out, really pop. There's none of the color from the other side showing through. And it just creates a good looking effect that we want. Okay. Hell yeah. Weathering those from Ollie's. They're a great deal. Were those obviously those were the ones that you picked up when you were here in the States a couple weeks ago, right? And that's mostly dry, but let's we're gonna go back to the dry brushing. We're gonna clean out our dry brush and we're gonna weather this gun, the Space Blaster, excuse me, for the all-seeing YouTube overlords. Do you know my video from last week was demonetized because I used music that I have a license for, so I gotta fight that. That's fun. Which is why the I like the super chats as an option here on YouTube, because YouTube tends not to touch those. They'll just go, you can't make money off of this video anymore because that person wants the money from it. It's like, wow, cool. What did I pay? You know, what did I get a license for with that? That's gonna get. I gotta replace that one. There we go. Gunmetal. For the gun. Makes sense. And that is a Army Painter War Paints gunmetal. Is in fact metallic. Yeah, the silver marker is a good tool to have. It's very, very helpful. Like the fancy little banner right there says, you get stickers, shirts, and more over on our TeePublic, and it is Famine Studios X. We've unified the brand across the board. So now I can say Famine Studios X, and if anybody finds my old videos, they're not going to be able to find my Patreon, but that 262 thing was bothering me, And some other son of a bitch has Famine Studios that they're not using it, but I digress. I got a feeling of what happened there, but I can't prove it, so I'm not going to go on about it. And if anybody's wondering what this is, if you're looking at that and you're like, damn, that's vaguely familiar, it's a couple of juice caps from Simply Limeade and a blaster from, I think, a Chatmay set. Yeah, it was the Chatmay Alien set. And I just cobbed it because it was broken and put it on here. And I have a gun turret for terrain for, like, say I'm playing, Toy Domination's game where there's, vehicles and sentries and stuff. And also I can move it around for shots and photos and gimmick and have, have turrets in places. What are you two doing? You guys are silly. Yeah. I've learned a few things about YouTube that are fascinating to me, is like how they run their platform, but at the same time, my options are this and Twitch, which I may also co-stream on Twitch, but I'm not going to join Kick. That's a rotten platform, just absolutely disgusting over there, and that's not for me. But there we go. I got that there. Let's do a little shining silver around the nose, just so maybe it's been heated, super heated, and it gets a little warm from firing. That'll be cool. What's up, Tank? Glad you can make it. Thank you. Yeah, Facebook. They keep trying to tempt me to go there because I guess their creator payout is pretty damn lucrative. However, Facebook. Let's be honest. I'm not going to use Facebook for this, so I will continue my quest here on YouTube. There we go. If I ever need to go back, I can add some little weathering, like some dust or dirt, or but being able to move it around and set it on top of things, like set it on there, set it over here, just makes it modular. And again, it's just a Simply juice lid with another juice lid flipped inside of it, and I think there's some hot glue in there to give it some weight. And then I glued on a little blaster, which means I can turn it around. It's good for tabletop terrain too. So if you are playing a game and you need a piece of tabletop artillery or whatever, there you go. Just put that up there. Yeah, hell yeah. Now we're starting to get somewhere. While we've got the silver out, let's start dry brushing this ladder. Just whatever metallics I'm picking up from this page or from this piece of paper is fine. We'll go in and do a little more specific weathering because obviously you guys know me. Even though little people aren't actually using this, I still want it to look like little people have used it, and so I want my weathering to be in real spots. I'm a strange cat like that. That's that's how I get down. That's how I jam. That's what you're here for, I think. I think you guys, hopefully you guys tune in for this type of stuff. Left Facebook 8 years ago. I still use Facebook because I have a Famine Studios Facebook page, and it's good for getting the word out about things, and also the local places that I work with. Like I've done some things with the costumer in a couple places there. They still use it as a way to contact me and let me know about events. And people find me through there, and then it directs them to my YouTube. So I do take advantage of that and, put that to use, but it's not my primary target audience. I don't post on Facebook because it was primarily a cosplay page when it was started over there. My YouTube channel had a little bit of everything, which is good. I still will do cosplay props here and there, Star Wars props especially, because that's my jam. But it's things have changed, and my toy stuff, which was always on the page, has taken a slight turn into world building, which I'm very freaking glad it did. And now I've got a lot of people following me, especially for somebody like me, and I'm very happy, and I'm very glad that I get to chat with you guys weekly. I get to come on here and show people how to make stuff, or show them how I make stuff. Let's be honest. I'm not the be-all, end-all of making things, but no, you're good, man. Painting up stormtroopers, Ant's making figures for his mental health. What he doesn't tell you is they're little voodoo dolls of us, and when we get out of line and we feel like a stab in the side, that's him effing around and giving us the business. And anybody looking to see the eclipse, it does peak East Coast at 10:44. It is now 10 freaking 6, 10:06. 10:06. Yeah, it's 10:06, guys. Jeez Louise, famine. Hey, famine, what time is it? 10:06. What a dope. I think I'm going to add a little white to this satellite dish. I feel like Taco Tuesday full. Mr. Cow. Mama Rosie. Easter Stark. You know what's funny? There it is. I just put a white drop of paint on a white paper towel and could not for the life of me locate it. There we go. Yeah, that looks cool. I like that. That just makes that stand out a little more. Doesn't have to be crazy. Doesn't have to be heavy like me. Just enough that it pulls out the detail there on the ladder, or on the satellite dish, and makes it noticeable. Cool. And just trying to think if I want to do any type of like rusting effect on there. I think I do. Again, this is just easy bullshit that I should have done and wrapped up the project a while ago, and I didn't. But we'll use terracotta because that's the color, my primary color of the dust on the ground on Gimmick, even though the rocks on Gimmick are blues and purples. So a little bit of lore there. There might be a little lore detail in there. Why are you not coming out of the container, terracotta? These are all small little projects or pieces of things that I need to glue onto stuff to just finish them that I didn't do. And that's kind of like, it's my pile of shame. It's like, I could have finished all these little damn things and been on with, moving on to other things. And this is my way of getting them done. This is the dude from Rogue One. And I plan on giving him like a quick wash and a dry brush and just sticking maybe like a wrap on him or something and have him being a background character. Can name him and stuff later, but yeah. Just get the majority of that off there. We'll hit just the inside. A little bit of that. Some areas, because you don't want... if it gets too uniform, it looks too man-made. That's something I had to learn with my weathering when I was doing props and stuff. And I say it looks man-made, I mean it looks like it's intentionally done. And that's the thing, is dirt and grime, when it builds up on things, is not intentionally done. It's it just kind of happens. So, and then here's a trick I learned. Place where gravity affects things. So if the dust falls into the satellite dish, it's going to pool down there. So just put a little bit on there. That's kind of like object source lighting, except the reverse. Like there's no lighting. It's just getting some bullshit on there. But yeah, that's there. And I will put that over here, and then I'll show you guys the end of the stream where that's living. But yeah, that works. Hell yeah. Cool. Things are starting to look like stuff. This is still drying because that paint was like really, really wet. So we'll jump back on this guy here now. And we'll start with the terracotta. Again, we're gonna do some dry brushing to make the bricks pop, and then I'll go in and I'll pick out a couple of different colors with some browns, like I do. That's how I do my bricks here. Here at Famine Studios, that's how we do bricks. Oh no, that was wet black paint. Got me, sons of bitches. Well, Famine, you know, it's kind of humid in here. You don't have your air conditioner running. Well, you know, thought I'd try something. It's all good. It's all good, baby, baby. Yeah, you know, that's what I had to do, Tank, was I just sat down and put some of the stuff together, because honestly, if I just put it back in that black paint. If I had grabbed every project that was in my like pile of shame and piled it together, I would have broken something for sure, and I didn't want to do that. So I just grabbed some of the smaller stuff that I knew was like instantaneous, like this could be done today, and I wouldn't have to deal with it anymore, and I won't have to be like thinking about it like, ah, shit, I should do that, but then let me work on a big project for the, you know, for the channel, and I feel like I should be doing something larger. And that's very much a me thing, right? My patrons are awesome. They mean the world. Nobody's ever pressured me to like fire up some content of a certain type or anything, but it's like I want to, you know, they're helping keep the channel going. They're helping me be able to take time away from other avenues of making money, like work in the corner. That's only half a joke. And I get to put it into improvements like you guys notice again. New cutting mat, but also table moves. Camera doesn't move. All Famine hooked it up. And that was, again, for my patrons. That was something that they contributed to. And it's helping boost the channel, helping improve the quality of the videos that they're getting. And I actually got a new camera gimbal, DJI, from, if Brian is still here. Brian, if you're still here, I'm talking about the Osmo, but I've got that now to make better quality videos with, for damn sure. And I think I'll be doing some of my editing on my laptop from now on instead of my phone, my iPhone. Can't do everything on there. I'll probably still make my vlog content on my iPhone just because I always have my phone with me. It came with a Rogue One 2-pack with the Scarif Stormtrooper. Yes. Yes, it did. And yes, his name probably is that. I'm trusting you, man. I don't have my Rogue One visual dictionary in the room anymore. I put it on the shelf. But I believe you. I don't think you'd steer us too wrong. Guys, is he steering us wrong? Okay, and we will do a... I can put that there. Just gonna kiss the ridges here. Oh, that's a good band name, Kiss the Ridges. Although somehow, some way, Gene Simmons would probably find a way to sue you for using the word Kiss in your band title. So I've heard that man is very, very particular about his IP. And if you try and make money off of his likeness or the band's likeness or anything else like that, he will come after you. So I don't recommend calling it Kiss the Ridges, I guess. Take that back. Don't call it that. And this is all just dry brushing, just a little bit of paint, taking most of it off. And what's the Klingon weapon called? A Betlath? I can't. I'm not a Trekkie. Like the Next Generation was my Star Trek, and Picard is my captain. Betla. That left. I don't. You're telling me the word, but I don't know how to say it. Ripped off a lot of indie bands in Toronto. Of course he did. And that's the thing, is like they weren't the first band to wear makeup and rock. Right? That's like not Queen. Queen was way ahead of their time. Kiss was not the first band to do that, and I wish that Gene Simmons would stop acting like they've got the rights to that entire idea of doing that for rock and roll. I think that's what pisses me off, because I like Kiss's music. If I'm at a barbecue or we're hanging out and we're doing karaoke or something, and you want to put on Love Gun, I will play the shit out of the air guitar. I'll sing right along. I want to rock and roll all night and part of every day. I will absolutely do that with you. I just think that Gene Simmons is kind of a dick. And if he ever uses IP, just be careful. Nice. Did I drop that in front? Okay, I'm sitting there and I'm like, where's it on the screen? So that's how that's looking so far. I'm thinking that's looking pretty cool. I'll add a couple more colors here in a hot second. Ooh, I see a spot that I need to get. TBC had Rogue One stuff, like maybe a bigger U-wing. Yeah, I wish that TBC would get some of the Rogue One stuff and some of the Solo stuff, like, produce better figures. Which I'm sorry, that's a good hunk of plastic for what it was. I think I paid like $6 for the 2-pack. It is 5 POA, but that's like a really well sculpted hunk of plastic, and I wouldn't imagine that there'd be too much articulation out of this. But he does at least bend over so he can sit down in a ship or something. Wouldn't mind elbows on him and actual like strapping. But I mean, he's pretty cool. That guy is pretty cool. Kiss is more of a brand than a band. Damn, Bjorn. I wish I could send you a super chat for that one. Doesn't need moss. I have some plants that I'll probably stick on there. This is in a very dry environment where this is, so only certain plants grow there or people grow them. But I've got some really cool dried up grass that I've been using. Let me see if I have... Where's that flower pot? Bannon, where's the flower pot? There it is. Nope, that's not it. There it is. I've been using that grass that's on there. It's a miniature gaming grass. And I've stuck that in a couple of spots where it should be super dry. And I think it looks cool. And I got that weird little plant on there. So. But I am going to put some colors on here, aside from the browns, that I think will really make this pop. Maybe like some gold on there. Like maybe at one point this was a ruins of a temple, because I do have behind me, there are some Easter eggs in that stone area with the tile work that indicate that that area may have been a temple of some sort in some way to a certain franchise that may, appear in my lore later. Might appear in a lore video. I'm digging this. I'm digging how this is coming out. This is pretty cool. So let's get a little brown on there now, aside from this terracotta. So I think terracotta is a red. Only Kiss song you knew is the one where they knew Beth. Didn't they skip? Didn't they also not wear makeup for the music video for Beth? Beth, I hear you calling, but I can't come home right now. 'Cause me and the boys are playing, and we just can't find the sound. Just a few more hours, and I'll come straight home to you. Something, something, something. Beth, what can I do? I like Scooby-Doo. Sorry, I put you all through that as I watch people log out. Watch everybody just start logging off one by one. My viewership drops to 0. I actually get negative viewers. Yeah, Role Models was a fun movie. I like anything with Paul Rudd in it, honestly. He's up there in my top 10 favorite actors. The dude is certainly a gem. He's also, he and Jeffrey Dean Morgan have a candy company locally here, and also they invest in a local salon that helps keep people employed, and some people I know employed. So I will watch Paul Rudd do a movie about, talking about paint drying. We don't want the purple. We want the burnt umber. And Sean Astin Scott, if I'm saying that correctly, he's somebody who I enjoy his movies too. I think my favorite with him was The Rundown, which was the flick that he did with The Rock. And Christopher Walken. Had the governor of California do a cameo in that movie. Good stuff. You walked into another man's home. You helped yourself to his refrigerator without asking. The problem is, it's my refrigerator. And you did not ask. Sean William Scott. What did I say? Did I say Sean Austin Scott? I don't fucking know. And I'm just picking out some weird details to hit with this burnt umber. And this burnt umber is a Vallejo model color. Vallejo, Venezuela. I don't know. But there's that. I'm just picking out a couple of bricks like I do when I do my brickwork to make them that color. Go put a little dry brushing in there of brown. And while it doesn't look like much when that happens, when I start putting that on there, when you take a step back and you look at the bricks being broken up by bricks of different color, it just adds to the whole thing, and it shows, you know what I mean, like there was some thought into what is in front of you. And I like that about my work sometimes, that it actually looks like I gave a shit. All right. And then, like I said, I think I want to put a little gold on here. Vallejo. Villaggio? What? Foyer? And we're going to go with bright gold. And that is a Army Painter War Paints metallic bright gold. I think I see exactly where I'm going to do a couple of these gold marks. There we go. That's all I need. Don't need a lot. Okay. So I'm going to take this gold paint here, get a little on the brush. All right. Bless you, Rosie. Bless you. Bless you. You okay, my love? Oh, that was Stark. I'm sorry. I thought it was Mama Rosie. Bless you, Stark. Goodness. Got the sniffles, bud, huh? Or did you stick your nose into Dust Bunny again? I'm in the other room, and I'm doing something, and I keep hearing somebody sneeze, and I figured out it was Stark. So I come around the corner to see why this dude's sneezing. And I look over, and he's got a Dust Bunny hanging from his snout, just hanging there. And he's just sneezing and sneezing. It's because he stuck his face underneath the radiator to try and get something and pulled out a Dust Bunny. Now, I don't know if that says about me that I don't vacuum underneath the radiator often enough, but damn it, if it wasn't so funny just watching this giant thing hang off his face and him walking around just completely oblivious to what was causing it. Poor Stark. What are you doing, you clown? Okay, so we got some gold on there, and that just kind of pops in the light, which I like, and I want to do one more spot of gold on here. Where do I want to do it? Yeah, I think I'll do yeah. You guys can see that because I can see it on the screen. And I'm not going to the edge with it. I'm just going mostly around the base, this pedestal, this rectangle area. So it looks like it was old, maybe leaf or, just old paint. Because that's one of my favorite pieces of useless trivia that I have, is you see those Greek and Roman statues, those marble Greek statues like at the Met, and that are stolen, if we're being honest. But they used to be painted, and they had like gold on their armor, and they looked garish, and same with the Egyptian statues. Like, there was paint on those things. They weren't just sandstone colored. They were painted with bright colors and opulent and, well taken care of and revered. And so they aren't displayed that way in the museums, though. So that's your little bit of famine is full of useless information for the day. And the reason I'm not going to the edge is because it allows it to look like that was worn off there, but it also creates a noticeable break in the color. So it's like, oh, that is something that was, worn off there. It's not necessarily castles. Yes, and so were cathedrals. They were white and everything. The reason that they're so dark and stuff is because of all the soot from candles burning in them, because that's all they had for light. And you know what? Thinking less is more, famine. Less is more. All right. I'm just gonna leave it like that. I almost talked myself into, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Wait a second. I'm just gonna do the same up here on this pedestal. Yeah, castles were colorful. They had tapestries on the walls to help with the temperature, but also to liven the place up and make it bright. And just put a little on here. That's funny. All right. So that piece is done. See, I mean, that's all it took was just a little bit of time, just a little tiny bit. A little tiny bit. Thank you, Rad. Thank you. All right, so let's do. Oh, crack my back. Hi, Rosie. Hello, beautiful lady. You gotta go outside and go potty, Mama Rosie? You gotta go potty? Ladies and gentlemen, give me a couple of minutes. I'm gonna let them dogs out and let them go potty. So we will be right back. Give me a couple of minutes, kids. Oh, you guys did such a wonderful job pooping. I'm so proud of you. Hey, everybody, I'm back. And you know, I'm proud of you guys as well. You all did such a good job pooping. All right, so like I said, I just need to kind of weather this up. Obviously, a sign is not going to be terribly dinged up, but I want it to be a little more in keeping with the world of Gimmick. And so there's got to be a little bit of weathering on it. Maybe a little bit some dust. Maybe somebody got pissed because there was a message there they didn't like and they threw something at it and it kind of dinged up. You know, whatever. But it's just small little marks here and there. Do the same here. I'm just hitting some high points. Flip it over. Carbon scoring, maybe. Yeah, Red. I'm proud of you too. You did a good job. You did good poops. Made good choices while you're out there pooping in the yard. Okay. And yeah, it's not super heavy, but it's no longer just plain black plastic that's obviously black plastic. You know, now it's got that matte primer on there, a couple of dings. We could, you know, let's go ahead and we'll take some of that brown paint that I used a little bit earlier. And I'll just put it on the glass. That just dirties it up a little. There we go. And there we go. Now we've got a sign, and it looks like it belongs in Gimmick. It doesn't look super brand new anymore. It looks like world used, so very cool. Again, this is like, yeah, it's on East Coast. It should be peaking within the next 6 minutes. So if anybody wants to poke their head outside and take a look, that's something cool to see. Something cool to see. All right, let's do dirty yellow on these bars and maybe a little silver, or maybe I'll do some, I don't know, copper maybe. I don't know. Like, look at what we're getting done today. We're getting stuff done, guys. So we're going to do a dirty yellow on this banister. And so I'm going to take a little of that brown. And by a little, I mean I'm going to mash my brush into it. Put that together, and that's our yellow, right? That's our closer to brown than it is yellow. Because this was yellow plastic, and while it looked very vibrant yellow, it was also yellow plastic, right? It looked very much like yellow plastic, and I wanted it to look a little less like yellow plastic. So I did the only logical thing and sanded it down and dry brushed it in, or excuse me, painted it in black as a primer, and now I'm going over it with that dirty yellow. Because here at Gimmick, we approve leaning. You know, leaning is a good thing that we approve of. We just don't want people falling to their doom. So in certain areas, while Gimmick can be a lawless place when it wants to be, there are things like that. Now we're going to take that brighter yellow, and I'm just going to dry brush the bars in the middle. That's where like less hands have been on it. Do you see the vision? Do you see the idea? The places where people don't have their grubby fucking mitts on it gets to stay kind of clean versus where people put their filthy grabbers on it and it gets worn down. So there's one of those. Put that up there. And then, like I said, I think we'll do a little scuff it up with silver. That's one. Let's do the second one. It's not a toy line. It's like we're pre-ordering the Starscream. Ew. So, Ian, if it's a KO on Starscream, how much are they asking for it? Because I know those aren't cheap. Or I should say third party, not a KO. It's not a KO. I'm sorry, anybody that's offended that runs a third party site that's just trying to get toys that look more like characters in the hands of collectors. For fuck's sake. Watch, this is how Famine gets canceled over Transformers. €55. That's not terrible, I imagine. I know the economy over there is not swell, or it's not swell here either. But I've seen price rates for third-party Transformers that literally make me sick to my stomach, because it's like I wouldn't get them because I'm not a big Transformers guy, but Jesus Christ, I could not imagine. What are you doing, silly dogs? You silly Starks. You so silly. You silly cow man. Hi, Rosie. Come here. Come say hi to the camera. Come here. Mr. Stark. Mr. Stark. You get the corner of the camera. Come here, Rosie. Come here, Rosie. Say hi. You just gonna sit down there and be pretty? Okay. You be pretty. There she is. There's the Mama Rosie. And the Mr. Stark. And to Mr. Stark. Hey, take it easy, TAR. Thanks for stopping in. Model kit. Non-transforming Transformers. Die-cast parts and plastic. Oh, cool. Yeah. You're a good boy, Stark. You here to tell me my paint looks like shit again, bud? I hope not. What? No yelling. No, I go. Take that tone with me, young man. Cowman, silly boy. Y'all hear how he talks to me? Like I didn't just, give him his dinner, let him outside, let him go POTTY. He's just at me. Cowman. And we'll do a little... No. I was going to say shining silver, but we'll do gunmetal. Here he is. Miss America. And I'm just taking that gunmetal and I'm touching the bars where people would grab when they're walking by, or maybe like keys that are on their keychain or swinging and hitting things. And then I'll also do just a little kick plate down here, give it a little character, make it stand out on the ground. Boom. I feel like I should chain up a bike to one of them. Just like somebody take the front tire off or the front hover thing off, like people do in New York. Ant knows what I'm talking about. He been there. He know. He know. But yeah, those are done. Look at that. And you know what? To hell with it. Give that a little more, just a little more pop. Too much pop. There we go. Like this is, we're burning through these now, so these can go over here because they're going to go up on things. Look. Well, we got the gunmetal out. This is again just a box. This was a pen holder, I think. What the hell was this thing? Oh yeah, there was like a sticky notes and shit in there, if my memory serves. But anyway, now I packed it with Greeblies, and it's some type of exposed, like, mechanical thing. How do you like them apples? There we go. And we'll hit the holes. And we'll hit this too. Dry brush that, bring out some character. And then maybe I'll graffiti that up in another time. But got that. So let's hit these crates with some metal, and then I will paint some red on those crates, I think, and then we'll throw the green tarp over top of it. I apologize if y'all can hear the train. As Famine Studios is close to industry, we get a choo-choo through now and again. And since my window's open, because it is a nice night out there during the lunar eclipse / supermoon, we gonna get that sometime. So, chugga, chugga. This again is from Rad Toys Galaxy. Thank you again to Rad for providing this to me. Okay. I want a little more gun. We'll go shining silver on a couple of these. What doing, Snowflake? You gonna bother the dogs? Rosie, leave her alone. What doing now? We're going. She's going to get some water. Woke up thirsty from her Amazon box nap. Looks like, one of those milk. Hi, Snowflake. Hello. I'll say hi. Hello. Miss Mama. Yeah. I'm painting. You go play, okay? Don't bother Stark. You know him. You don't like to. He's scared of you. You intimidate him because you're such a bold and strong lady. She's like, I don't know what any of those words mean, but this dog better get out of my way. They did. All three of them just went into the crate. You guys are cowards. Okay. I think that's looking pretty cool. Like I said, I want to get some red on at least one of these. Hell yeah. Before we put that fabric on. Today is Transformers Day. I did not know it is Transformers Day. Happy Transformers Day to those who celebrate. May the all-spark be in your heart, or whatever the saying is. Transform and roll out. We'll go with Vampire Red. Okay. And we will use the same paint brush that we used to do the gold. What doing, Miss Snowflake? Besides looking beautiful and perfect. Just like that's pretty much it. Just standing around, being beautiful and perfect. And can you guys see this as I'm doing it? I hope so. Rather than dry brush it, I'm actually just following the raised rectangle patterns inside the recess of the crate. And I'm just kind of painting to the edge-ish. And I think this will make this crate pop. Hello to whichever critter just slid their tail up my leg, hoping that's one of the dogs or the cat. Or one of my patrons on the $10 tier. They do tend to like to slide up the inside of my thigh. I'm not saying that comes with it. I'm just saying that I might let that happen at the $10 tier. I'm pretty easy. Anyone found an alien head you've been looking for in your pile of shame? Look at that. This is what we do. We motivate each other to find alien heads in our pile of shame. Nice, nice, nice. This is starting to pop. Look at that. Just looks like it should be, like it should have this red. Don't know why. That's just what mind's eye is telling me. Like this should have red on it. You can get the full line from AliExpress. And you can get the full Famine Studios experience from our Patreon. Click the link in the bio. And if you haven't already, click the like button for me. And if you're not already, you should consider subscribing. Helps out the channel, helps me out. Makes everybody happy. Makes Snowflake happy. And really, that's what it's all about. But yeah, I do just again want to thank my patrons. I was able to get the stand so that I wasn't shaking the camera as I worked, and Snowflake gets a neat box fort out of it. So that's again plus, and it helps with the production value of these videos. And I was also able to get before my car broke, which is hilarious, I was able to get an Osmo on a gimbal. I can shoot in 4K now if I want to. I probably will still shoot in 1080p because I'll be damned. My work is not. Man, stop eating the bag. Kenny got me that shirt, and you're not going to eat the bag that it's in. But I don't know that my work's 4K good, but I definitely think it's 1080p good. So we'll see. But there will be some hopefully some very exciting videos and better quality shots coming your way of this stuff. So I'm excited, and that was again thanks to my patrons. You guys helped out big time. Your subscription, helps the channel, and the donations that people send in through Ko-Fi. Although, admittedly, I do use those for coffee and drinks because that's what I say I'm going to use them for. But having a couple of having an energy drink or a coffee does help, keep the train rolling, keep the famine train rolling. And last week, I do just want to shout out a couple of our friends who donated to. There's a GoFundMe from one of the members of our community who's up against some hard times now, and I've always talked about, community care and us all taking care of each other, and that's what we do. So that's always appreciated, and if you've ever got something you want to plug in the chat, I'm pretty lenient on that, as long as it's not a political negative, or if you're selling some stuff, you might mention like, hey, stop by my Instagram, I've got some stuff up for sale or whatever. That doesn't bother me. Live the dream, baby. $4 a.m. here before you're going to pass out, before you get to sleep, before we get lights out here. Hey, have a good one. Thanks for stopping in, Ian. We appreciate it. Oh, hey. Hey, May. Hello. Yeah, Ant can drop that link in the chat. He's allowed because he's a moderator. Wow. Hi, Miss Snowflake. I see you in your fort. You're very big. You're so tall. You're towering over the top of the box. It's great. Fort Snowflake. In the battle for Gimmick Starport. I think she likes the box because the boy Quinn, the baby, he tries to play with her and she just wants nothing to do with him. Doesn't want him around, doesn't like it when he's in here. She just sits there and gives him the dirtiest look. Yeah, I'm talking about you. She's just staring at me. But she doesn't like it when he's in here. And earlier she was in the box and she laid down and he didn't see her and he kind of just stood around and looked around the room and then left. And then I saw her peek out and I think she finally put 2 and 2 together that if she's hiding in the box, he's not quick enough and, with it enough yet to figure out that that's where she is. The link to the GoFundMe for Ant and May. Because like I said, community care is one of the big things. And if you guys can contribute to that, if you want to throw a couple of bucks there, instead of buying me a coffee, I'm not going to die. But we want to help out our friends in the community and show support where we can. All right, so pretty much committed myself to painting these all with this red pattern. Like, I think that looks pretty good. I think that looks pretty cool. I don't have to. I'll do this one here that's kind of peeking out and then I'll stop. You can't just stop, fam, and you can't turn it off. You're an artist. Your attention to detail is what makes you who you are. Don't bury it for the stream. I need to do it. I gotta turn it off. Bless you. Stark, where are you? You alright? You okay, Rosie? Give me a kiss. Come here, Rosie. What a beautiful lady. Oh, you're a pretty lady. Hi, Stark. You're a pretty lady, too. Yes, you are, Mr. Stark. You're a pretty lady. But Mama Rosie is the prettiest mama in the whole world. You the prettiest Mama Rosie that I know. Yeah, I love you. I love you. Your blanket's almost done in the dryer. And then you guys can have it and go to sleep. Yeah, there you go. The link's right there. And if, as I said, if anybody wants to donate to it, it's going to a great cause. It's a friend of the community, friend of the channel, personal friends of mine, and it is appreciated. And it goes a long way. A little help goes a long way. And even just sharing it is helpful because it helps to give it traction. And yeah, make a difference for some folks. Well, it's the puppy pics for starters, but also like the only photos we have of you are tasteful nudes. And I don't think that works on the GoFundMe platform. Hi, Stark. What are you doing down here? What are you doing? Okay. All right, so let's get that green fabric. So we'll get this finished at the very, very least. What are you doing? Who's coming here? What do you want? What's Daisy? Who's president? So we got this piece of green fabric from a shirt. T-shirt. I've started doing the Wentzilla thing where I cut the sleeves off of stuff. Customers will be demanding that you pay them. I did that on Facebook. I posted a thing and I said I'm going to start selling those, and I said it's $5 for a picture and $25 not to receive one. Let's see. How big is this going to have to be? About that big. All right. So I'll put the scissors back and I'll use the knife. Do this one more again. One more again. Okay. What up, dead man? How we living? Like Biggie Smalls and Mansions and Benzes? And I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to lay on some matte Mod Podge on here. And then I'm going to put that on there and I'm going to mash it down with some more matte Mod Podge. So, if I can get it open. French toast. I'm the one that put the lid on. You got ends to lend your friends and you feel stupendous? Man. Jesus Christ. There we go. If I struggled anymore, I was going to have to ask a real man to open this up for me. It was a joke, everyone. This is the Mod Podge, by the way. This container is at least 2 years old. And it's lasted me that long. And that's even with making the Black Magic sauce primer that I kind of use. Oh God, it's getting everywhere. Wait, that's what I want. Proceed. Now, I've done this with crates before without the material already on them. And the thing I would do differently if the material wasn't on there, it was like a stack of crates that I wanted to be able to uncover, is I would put down saran wrap over top. And I would saturate my cloth with the Mod Podge and then drape it over, press it to where I wanted it, and let it dry. And then when I pop it off of the saran wrap and then throw that away, I could place it on the crates and have them covered, and then when I want to uncover them, I just pop it right off. It's like a little hard plastic thing, but since this one's already got it sculpted on there, we're going to utilize that, and it's just going to be a permanent part of this fixture, and that's also cool. Honestly, a little sad. You want to talk about it, or you want me to blow you a kiss, or what? What do we want? Go. I'm just gonna take that, put that on there. Yeah, hell yeah, buddy. So, yeah, dude, I'm fucking bummed that I'm not going. It's a whole stupid thing, and I wish it wasn't a whole stupid thing. I don't know how in the loop you are on that, but I could fill you in later. I don't want to, throw out too much in the chat. And we are just gooping this on here. Help keep all the folds and the ridges in place. And then once this starts to dry and harden up, I'll go over the entire thing with Mod Podge, like the whole display. Yeah, I'm not thrilled about that or about what the likely outcome of that will be with that stuff, but I am taking it, as always, one day at a time. That's all I can fucking do. Mashing that up on there. Like I said, just loading it up and pushing it into the recesses and curves, trying to follow the folds that are already on there so that when the piece lays on top of it, it just picks up that natural dimpling, I guess is what the word I want to use, the dimpling of the fabric. I'll be sending some money over for some beers and booze for you guys, though, for sure. That way everybody gets some drinks on me. On old famine. But they've got to be body shots off of Zilla, so. His rule, not mine. I don't know. I thought it was weird, but, it's 2024, 25, 24. So, I'm not going to judge. Oh my God, it's like college all over again. This white stuff's everywhere. It's like the Chi Fappa Beta again, all over again. Their fucking dorm room. Filthy. Bunch of animals, those guys. All right. And here, where I didn't have the little excess piece, I'll just paint it green and blend it with some weathering. But I think that came out pretty damn cool. And now I've got a nice little stack of, you know what, I'm just going to start putting the Mod Podge on it now. Load that up. We'll let that dry. Now, one thing I will tell you guys is, weirdly enough, and I'm not kidding, I was looking at my analytics today. My number 3 search that leads people to my channel is Mod Podge. Because I made a video kind of bemoaning the thick Mod Podge that was going to be their solution to resins that people were using. Now, I'm not knocking my friends over at Plaid because they've sponsored a lot of my paints that I still use. Like, they provided me with a hella huge care package right before their paint factory shut down for the pandemic, which was, huge thank you to them as always. But they produced this, supposed to be the answer to resin. It takes 28 days to cure. And I just wanted people to know that because I knew some people were going to be like, oh, this will be great. We'll use this 28 days for something to cure on an arts and craft project. Because let's be honest, Mod Podge isn't an industrial item that us crafters found and started using lately. It's become a crafting product, but I'm sorry, but 28 to 30 days for some shit to cure for an arts and craft project is not okay. And so I made a little video, like basically just warning people, like, hey, if you're counting on this for, to be completed for anything important, like just know shit's going to take forever. And that is my number 3 search that drives people to my page. So if you've come here to Famine Studios, you're like, I'm here for the Mod Podge content, well, there you fucking go. There's that. Cool. All right, I'm going to call it, though, because it is after 11 o'clock. We've been at this for, almost 2 hours. And it's been going by pretty goddamn quick. But we finished 2 fences. We finished terrain decor. We did Carillion hound crates. We got that weathered up and out of the way. We weathered up a digital sign. We played with the puppies. We got this thing here drying now. I'm excited about that. We broke in my new cutting pad, the new camera setup. Like, this came out great. So I appreciate you guys being here. Let me clean this up a little bit. We'll switch to the face cam for the closing of the video. See, Tank's already jogging out the door. He's got shit to do. Let me just let me take 2 seconds here, and we'll just put up the little we'll put up the, there it is. We'll just put that up, and then I'll do the old Famine switcheroo, and then we're back. See, it's that easy. I love it. But we got a lot done today, so I'm super thankful you guys joined me. As always, I appreciate the support of my patrons. You guys are the best. People come to the chat every time. Like I said, we're going to do something Friday for my 1-year anniversary of streaming. I just want to thank Bjorn, Lord of Thane, Task Force Wombat, Fat Red Foo, my buddy Mickey, excuse me. It's late. Howdy, Toy Domination, and Triple D. I appreciate you guys showing support to the channel through Patreon. The people that donated Ko-Fi, always appreciated. Like I said, if you help out our friends over on their GoFundMe, that is always appreciated. And they've, shown love, and they're, good members of the community. So please make sure that even if you can, share that out. That is a huge help, and I appreciate it, and I know they do too. So that being said, like I said, you guys will see something go up about Friday. We're going to celebrate 1 year of live streaming, and as always, do sweetly. Enjoy the night. Happy supermoon. I don't know. Is that a thing people say? Is that like Merry Christmas?